Hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Friday evening, night. If you are catching this part, you are probably watching replay. So if you could hashtag replay in the comments for me, I would so appreciate it. If you are hopping on live, come on in and say hi. Let me know you're here. Welcome, everyone. It is crafting with cardboard, fun Friday event on Craft Around the Clock. It's been going all day today, and I believe there are still some crafters after me. Hi, Tracy. Welcome. Thank you so much for sprinkling me into Craft Around the Clock. Hi, Cheryl. How are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Welcome, everyone. How are you? Hi, Anita. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Brenda with Totally Together Crafting. Hi, Brenda. Happy Friday. Hi, Sheila with Sweetie's Creations and Decor. Hi, Lori. If you all see my crafting sisters on here and you haven't followed them yet, be sure and do that. Hi, Chalking at the White Elephant. How are you doing tonight? So I have already cut out my cardboard, trying to get a bit of a start on it. I've even peeled some of it off. I've punched some holes. Hi, Sissy. How are you doing? So I just cut it out with a box knife. I have a mold for a journal cover, and so I use that as my template to draw on my cardboard. And then I cut it out with the box knife, like I said, and then punched holes with a hole punch, wet this down, and peeled some of it off. So that's kind of where we're going to be starting from. So we have a front and a back cover. Of course, this is the inside parts. Hi, Sheila. My day. How was my day? Let's see. I watched my two middle granddaughters today, and it was my second to oldest granddaughter's birthday. So she's 9 years old, and today, my grandson, my oldest grandson, will be 6 years old tomorrow. So March is a busy birthday month for us. How are you guys doing? So her mom and older sister are in Fort Collins. If you guys are new to me, my name is Darlia, and I live in Colorado. I'm the owner of Darche Designs, and I have 6 children and 6 grandchildren so far. Trying to decide if I want to use inks or distress oxides. I don't know. Hi, Colleen, with a couple of Tralalas. So we have a few things we're gonna do to this journal cover tonight. Try that one first. All right, so we have our front and back cover that we did get from the card board. So we are going to put one of the napkins that I had in my napkin set for spring. I do a napkin club, and each quarter I send out at least 20 napkins based on the holidays and the season, and so this was one of the ones that I sent out. I do have one set left if anybody's interested, and I'll also be doing summer, my summer set, ordering for that soon. Ah, your sister's birthday is tomorrow, Sheila? Thank you, Sissy. If you guys don't mind smashing a few of these just to kind of wake up, you know, Mr. Facebook and all of that, commenting is all great. If you guys haven't given my page a follow yet, of course, I would love for you to do that. Also, I know the link probably popped up when you guys came on for my Telegram channel. You can subscribe to that. I'll just go through these real quick. This was the spring set that I sent out. So we had that. We had this. And some hearts. Hi, Shelly with Crafting with Shelly Designs. Hi, Lou. How are you? So this is just a sneak peek, or a peek, not a sneak peek, I guess, of what I sent out to everyone for spring. I just like doing this, and I know when you have to buy, you know, napkins, you're buying a whole pack, so it's nice to kind of get a big variety of different prints. And most of these I buy individually, and they are high quality napkins. A few of them that you will get will be sold in packages, but the majority of them I do buy individually. Hi, Mary Snyder. How are you doing tonight? The cute carrots. We have another bunny. We had some nice flowers, and this bunny print is really pretty. And then we have some birdhouses and some 4-leaf clovers. So that was the spring set, and I only have one of these left. If anybody's interested in it, I can ship it out right away to you, but you just put it in the comments. But better yet is just private message me, and that way I can get back to you and you'll see it. A lot of times if you just comment, I can comment back, but you won't see it. So it's kind of frustrating, I guess would be the word. So we're gonna take off one of our little bunnies around here, because I think I kind of want it centered in our front cover. So I'm just gonna get a brush, some water, and we're gonna start just getting that bunny out of there. Yeah, the blue and white prints are super popular for sure. How big do we want to go is the question, right? I kind of like to keep that stamp in there, but maybe we'll add it someplace else, and we'll just go closer to the bunnies maybe. And then we're just gonna tear where the water is, and the tearing, or like feathering it, whatever you want to call it, to me, when you put it on whatever surface you're going to put it on, it definitely blends more into that background. Oh, you're going to be at the Special Olympics swim meet tomorrow? Thank you, Sissy. That sounds like a lot of fun. If you guys know, I've been working on taxes, and I'm still working on taxes, and I'm hoping to get through them this weekend, but I don't know. We've had a week that I wasn't expecting to have, so that definitely played into not getting as far as I had hoped. But I do have to try to work on that this weekend. I would rather be doing something fun. It was 80 degrees, or close to 80 degrees in Colorado the last few days, but now we're going to be dropping again, and I think by Tuesday we're back down to 48. So it was like, here's a taste of spring and now you're heading back into winter, right? And the problem is my fruit trees in my yard have already started blossoming, so that doesn't bode well for the fruit, because it will get down into the 30s at night. So I just kind of went around what I thought I would want on the cover. And you could make this Easter, or you could just make this spring, or you could just love bunnies. It doesn't have to be any of the above, because I definitely don't think it's gonna scream Easter or spring at you. I used to love bunnies. I had quite a few like figurines and everything that I had sitting around everywhere. All right, I am going to just oxide around our outer edges and see how that looks. Hi, Zimmy's Simple Designs. Thanks so much for sprinkling. It's 54 in New Jersey, Sheila. We have hardly had any snow this winter. We've had maybe a couple of times it snowed about an inch or two, but it melted right away. It really was not anything. How is everyone's weather? Are you guys warming up, or are you still in the cold, or how's it going? Thanks so much for the hearts. I appreciate that. It definitely helps just get Facebook hopefully doing something. And this would also, I think, make a great little, you could put photos in here, or just memories of what you did in the spring. It could be garden memories. You could even write in here like what you planted. I sometimes like to do that just to keep track of what I planted, where I planted it, and around the date that I planted, so I kind of have an idea of when I should see some plants popping through, right? We can't safely plant anything outside until after Mother's Day, because we definitely have gotten a lot of frosts in late April, and believe it or not, some of the worst blizzards I've been on in the mountains have been in April on the way over to Denver. And those are nothing to take lightly. You cannot see the road. You cannot see anything. You have cliffs on the side. It is not fun to be in a whiteout in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. Oh, you're going to be in the 70s tomorrow? That'll be nice. The couple of days of 80s was definitely nice. I don't like hot weather. I don't like cold weather. If it could just say between 70 and 85, that would be good. So we could use either one for the front. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we use the one that is more torn? You can see the corrugation. Or should we use the one that's got a little more, because it might be easier to put our bunny on here? Most of the time, if I'm wanting to bring out what's in the napkin, I paint everything white. But in this case, we're wanting to keep it more vintage looking. So we're definitely just going to go with the brown behind it. You guys usually wait till after Memorial Day to plant because of frost, and you're in Pennsylvania. Yeah. And it just doesn't, even if, there's been a few times I've tried planting toward the end of April, and if it gets cold or whatever, it seems to, if it doesn't freeze them, like if you cover them, to me it seems to like stunt it. a bit, and it takes a while for it to recover. So I have learned finally, I think, that I need to just wait. Wait for that Mother's Day time and feel like it's safe again, safe to go out and plant. So you guys think, let's see, if we did it on the more corrugated one, it's going to go down into those corrugated parts. You like it on the one I have now, Luann? Yeah, I think it'll be good here. And it's okay to have some of it in it, but I don't think I want quite as much. I kind of got more carried away on this one. But we can still use parts of this napkin. It's not like it has to be done yet or anything. And this, you could also do something for Mother's Day with it. Would also be really pretty too. So many ideas that you can do for junk journaling for sure. So I like this decoupage medium. It's called, it's by Pentard, and it's decoupage, varnish, and glue. Hi Jamie with Row 12 Creations. How are you tonight? Hi Judy. But you can use Mod Podge. I have Mod Podge and I still use it too. So it's whatever you guys like to use. We're gonna lay our cute little bunny down. I'm gonna turn my iron on because I think we're gonna iron over it. And just kind of tap it down. It's not totally dry. I could have dried it all the way with my heat tool, but I didn't feel like we needed to do that. And I wasn't sure how far over this was going to go, so. Okay, I think we've about got enough of the varnish down. I mean, I wouldn't have to iron it, but it will just help it blend into this cardboard a little better. Obviously, cardboard can make really good covers for your junk journals. Do any of you guys like to junk journal? All right, I'm going to get a piece of parchment paper. Set that to the side for a minute. So I asked my granddaughter today, the one that turned 9, where she wanted to go for lunch for her birthday. And I gave her all these options and she chose Burger King. I'm like, oh, really? So we went to Burger King. All right. I'm going to go ahead and iron this the other way because I've got it all curled now from the heat. So I want to flatten it back out a little. And whenever I do anything on my junk journals, I always put a heavy book or something heavy on top of it after I've worked on it, just so everything can dry a little flatter. So hopefully you guys can see where I've distressed oxide around the edges. We're going to do a little bit around these edges, but I'm going to show it to you real quick. What do you guys think? It's still a little wet right there, so you're seeing that in the cardboard. So let me get my oxide, and this is ground espresso, and this is by Tim Holtz, in case you guys are wondering. I'm just gonna go around these edges to help it blend in even a little bit better, hopefully. And of course, we can do the same sort of thing on our back cover, or we could do something different. We're just gonna kind of brush some of this on here. Does anybody have any plans for the weekend? You already know mine. Fun taxes. Thank you, Cheryl and Crystal and Jamie. I appreciate it. So I bought some paper to fit these. I'll probably take some of the decoupage and just kind of go down in there because it's just a little, looking a little loose, and I want it to be sealed. Might have to use a brush instead of this. It's wanting to pull it up. I push it down and then it pulls it back up. Okay. That part right there is up a tiny little bit. Okay. So if you can see, we went around those edges. I need to do a little bit more up here. We could even accent our little corrugated ridges and make them stand out a little more. We just want this to look like it was always a part of this cardboard, that we didn't put it on there. That is the goal. So I'm just trying to do over the top of those corrugated ridges and bring them out a little more. Okay. All right. Me, guys. So this is the paper that fits inside of this, but we could definitely coffee stain it, tea stain it. We could even distress oxide it to make it match our journal, because I don't think you would want to do the, you know, really white, excuse me guys, lined paper in there. We could also get some scrapbook paper, some rice paper, cut it, you know, the same size as that, and put some of that in here. The sky's the limit once you get, you know, decorating with your junk journal. I want this little stamp here somewhere, so I'm gonna get it out of this napkin. And sure where I want it. Don't know if I want grass sticking out of the top of it. I think down here would be good. So what part of the Special Olympics do they do all the events in the same day, or is it multiple days? Because I don't think I've ever been to one. Okay, I'm just gonna heat tool for a second. You guys are watching the swim meet. So is it just the swimming tomorrow then? And I'm gonna do this again. Yeah, that went into our cardboard really well. And Distress Oxide it real quick. This is one day. Do you have somebody in it, or are you just going to watch it? Thank you, Elsie. How are you doing tonight? So we added that little stamp down there. I think that's cute. I also have some stamps. I have some roses. I have some tulips. I thought about adding those in there. I'm not sure now if I want to. You could definitely add it to the front cover. That would be really cute. We could also put some paper in here. I don't know what I have on there, but I'll show you guys real quick. We'll get just some black ink, I think, or you could use brown, either one. Well, let me use brown. I don't want it to stand out a lot. So I have the tiny little, hi Cruz. Oh, you're going to be working there. Thank you, Lou, for sharing or sprinkling. I have the tiny little inks, and I don't know if I have espresso in this. It doesn't look like it. So we probably will use, I think, the walnut stain. We're just gonna add some roses back here, I think. And if I like it back here, we might add some to the front. No, I didn't get enough on there. Or press hard enough, one of the two. Which it could easily be either one. Ah, Elsie, you've been reading my book? Thank you. I hope you like it. I always feel like, will they like it? So, I don't know. I'm not so thrilled with that. I don't think I want to add it to the front. I think I needed, black may have been good to use. It's not bad, but all right, we'll go on to other things in our cover here. I found these flowers at Walmart. Now they're pretty bright, but I definitely feel like we could add some oxide to them to darken them up some, and depending on what we wanted to use. And they have like the pinks and greens, they have like all greens, and then they have blues too. Oh, your husband is meet director and your son and granddaughters are coaches. That's awesome. You guys are definitely involved. Mostly what I write, Cruz, is historical fiction with a Christian worldview. This was my first book. I've done 8 books so far. So, and this one is the first of it has a 3-part series. So it's called A Home for Our Heart, and it's based around the time the orphan trains were going. I don't know if any of you guys have heard about those. I hadn't heard about it until my publisher wanted us to do a set of books around the orphan trains. So I ended up being very intrigued by it all. I think I might add some of this on here too. I think that would be really pretty. Kind of like it back here better. And again, you can decorate your back cover too, not just your front. So I'm finally starting to work on another book. I've kind of had like a 2 to 3 year hiatus. It's been a bit, just a lot going on in our family personally, so I had to take some time off with all of that, and hopefully I'm excited to get back to writing for sure. Oh my word, Sheila, you guys have been with Special Olympics for over 50 years. That's amazing. And that is commitment too, for sure. How awesome you guys do that. All right, I can never get my Type Bond Quick and Thick to come out, so we're gonna do it this way. And I have some of these little tools. Not the ones I want, but okay, here we go. We're going to use this to put some glue on here. So first I'm going to tuck it under, maybe. I did get a lot. It's feast or famine, right? Okay. I liked that one. I liked them all. Of course I wrote them, but some I guess are more personal. I put some, more personal elements in it, or, they're all different. So I do have a time travel book. It's called Treasure Beyond Time. My last book that I wrote is called Secret Presence. And that I'm working on the sequel to that book. That will be the next one that comes out. And then I've been wanting to do this book, and I've started some of it. It's called Dual Time. If you guys have heard of that, it's where you write like in the past and in the present at the same time. So this is like, she finds a diary of a woman who lived, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to Colorado, But there's a town called Redstone, and it was a mining town. And the man who started the mining town had a castle, literal castle, built for his wife, who came out here and decided she hated it, so she left, and they ended up getting divorced at some point. And so he ended up marrying again. I think he was married 3 times actually, and one of his wives did live in it for quite a while. But there were like Rockefeller who went there, and it was just really cool. And so I've always been intrigued. I love history and researching history. My 2 things I love are writing and crafting, so I definitely love to do them both. They're both creative, so I guess that makes sense, right? All right, I think we've got that on there. Hi, Jackie. How are you doing tonight? I write under my name on Amazon. So all you have to do is look up my name, Darlia Sawyer, and you'll see the books. You can read about them, and it's all right there. I think I went a little crooked, unfortunately. Let's see if I can straighten this up before it's totally set. Too busy talking, probably. I'm gonna straighten it out here a little bit. How much time? We still have a bit of time, so we'll keep on going. So you guys like this so far with that lace added over there? Let me clean up my glue mess. Of course, I may need it. Well, I don't know if I'll need it for my flowers or not. I'll go ahead and clean it up some. All right, I think we're going to distress oxide our little flowers here. If that doesn't work, we will try some ink on them. Oh, you have a treasure beyond time too, Elsie? I want to do a sequel. See, I want to do so many things. It's just time. That's the problem. I want to do a sequel to that one too. And I want to do the book, A Healing Heart, that you read, Elsie. A Home for Her Heart is the first one in that series. And then A Captive Heart, and then A Healing Heart is the 3rd book in the series. And I really do want to do a 4th book in that series to wrap it all up. Like I said, it's just time. All right. Isn't that always our issue? I don't know what I did with my other scissors, but we'll just use these. See if my hot glue, it doesn't start warming up until I push the trigger for some reason. We can go ahead and start putting some of this on there. I want a little bit of color. I just don't want it to look, you know, super out of place. So I think if we do this, it will tie in fairly well. And I think what would be really pretty on this, you know, once we get our journal together, is to take some sari silk, because I feel like that goes really well with this, and make like a tie. Yeah, I read all my life. I loved reading. I mean, when I was, especially in elementary school, I read, you know, anytime I wasn't in school, you could find me reading, because I just love to read. And throughout all my life, I have always loved to read. Just, you know, life gets busier. You paint ceramic bisque? That sounds fun. Okay. I think we want to put just a few down here. I don't think I want to go as bright as this because that would look out of place. Looking for kind of a different shape in the same color, but I'm beginning to think they just did certain colors, certain shapes, so I think we'll go with that one. I also have some of these leaves. How much time do we have? That, you know, we can also put some distressed oxide and maybe kind of wind that around. Let's see how that looks. And we could put some words on here, or you could, if you were giving it to someone, obviously you could put their name. You could use stickers or use stamps. We can make a little tag for this for the front too. So much. Oh, thank you, Elsie. All right. So I don't know how much of this I want coming up here. Maybe just a little that kind of ties into right there, even though they're not the same color. I could get this just a tad darker, it would help. Yeah, I think that would be cute right there. And then we'll cut it off. I told you I was done with my glue. I would need that again. We are about out of time. I'm not sure if there's anybody after me or not. I think there might be one more. So when I'm done, be sure and refresh your page if you're already on Craft Around the Clock. And if you're not, that link is up in my description. And like I said, if you guys haven't followed me yet, I'd love to have you on my page. We do all different sorts of crafting here because I just love to do everything. All right. See if the hot glue is ready. Yay. I could use the Type On Quick and Thick for this too. It's just gonna take a lot longer to set up. So that's why I'm just gonna use the hot glue. I think I need to cut just a little bit more off of this. Maybe. Usually I do brighter colors, but I mean, sometimes I love shabby chic for sure. That's like my love. And I do love vintage too. But I love color also. Thank you, Shelly. We could even add some buttons to this. That would be really cute. We could put some along our lace right there. Let me cut the back of this one off. Okay, let me show you guys where we are so far. Let's get some glue strings off. And yep, our time is up. So this is what we have so far. Do you guys like that? I think it will make an adorable journal. So that's our front. We haven't done anything with our back yet. I have these little, let me show you real quick before I go. These little 3-wing that you can use in here to put your paper in. And like I said, I would definitely copy stain, grunge up, or tea stain the paper. So, oh, babe. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoy them. Just so you guys know, my last book, Secret Presents, was a finalist in the SELA Awards. So that's my biggest accomplishment so far. But anyway, you're gonna put this paper in here after you grunge it up. We can hold it in there with these. We would need one for the top and one for the bottom. But I will take a picture of this once I get it completely like I want it. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Be blessed. Have a great weekend. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you all so much for being with me. And remember, if you ever need prayer or anything like that, let me know. I'm always here, honored to pray with you. So have a great night. Bye, you guys. Love you all.